Hi. So yesterday in the mail I got a Malden Zip. This is the pocket size. It has that nice Malden leather. This is the purple. I really wanted navy, but they didn't have it, and it was on sale, so I knew they probably wouldn't replace it. And I liked it so much, just the layout, that I went for the purple. And you know, this is a nice color. I really like it. Okay. So I assume there's not much on this pocket Malden Zip. I didn't put these in the rings. There's not much on the pocket Malden Zip, so I had to assume that it was much like the penny bridge. That is the faux leather, and this is the real buffalo leather, like the other Maldens. So we have the secretary pocket. I'll take these out. I just took it out of the ring so it was easier. Okay. And this is why I really got it. Look at this. So you have all sorts of sneaky little pockets. Look at that. That's all the way down there. Sneaky little pockets. The zip pocket. Some more sneaky little card pockets. And these three right here. And this isn't leather on the inside. This is just a nice fabric material. But you've got the leather on here and so on. No leather in the pocket. I don't know if you can tell the difference, but that's okay. That really streamlines it. So I'm using a Finsbury wallet right now with the wallet pocket, the 19mm rings, and this one has 15mm rings. So I was really worried that I would have a trouble scaling down, but then I thought about it, and I have my credit cards in the pocket sleeves, the Filofax pocket sleeves. So I figured if I can move the credit cards out of the rings and into these pockets, I think I can do it. So it's actually quite a bit to work with. They have the full year of Week on 2 Pages diary. They have lots and lots of notes and the ABC, the alphabetical tabs. And I don't use these tabs. The thing that I use the papers for, it's so funny, is I use a crocodile to punch my holes. I can take a huge stack that thick, put it all in there, clip everything together with this on top, carefully line everything up, and then just punch like crazy through it. And everything is just nice and clean punches. So I like that. I'll keep that there so you can see the difference. So this is my Finsbury. My pen's a little too long. I have a few cards in here. I have some stickers and some washi tape that I don't really use. I just have these for my kids. So when we're out and about and we need to sit and wait, I hand them a bunch of stickers and I tell them to stick it to their shoes, or I give them a piece of paper from here and I'll just tell them to stick it this. These little envelopes, if I have to pay like gas money, I'm carpooling and I want to help out with gas money, or if I want to do a little tip or something, then I can sneak some money in here and just slip it in there. Be all slick. And these are just little smash book envelopes. My CVS card, gift card. Okay, so the reason I'm not going to use this anymore is it is just starting to break down. I've had it for over a year. The ring is splitting. Can you see that? And I'm not pulling on it. It's just that tiny little gap, so nothing's snagging yet. I cannot open it with the tabs anymore. So I have to, you're going to cringe, I have to pull it open like this. Oh! So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I go about streamlining it a little bit. So our goal is to get it about this thick. Okay, this is my little bookmark, but I like it up front because it's one of my favorite things, so when I open it up I always see it. And I just did a name on Photoshop. And then I use Paint Shop. I did a name on there, and then I laminated it. I printed on the back of scrapbook paper, so it was nice and neat. Let's see, these rings. Ooh, nice satisfying pop. Okay. So I'm going to have to change. I love these papers. But it's one-sided, so I had to glue 2 sheets of paper together. I used 5mm laminate, so that gives it quite a bit more thickness. So what I'm going to do is I made some others. This is two-sided paper, so it's printed on both sides. I found some 3mm laminate. It's the paper cow, whereas this is the Scotch. And you can kind of see there's a little bit more flexibility in it than the other. You see that? Okay. And this paper is just a small little paper pack, My Mind's Eye. It's a 6x6, and it has 2 sheets of everything. And so I just carefully placed how I was going to do it. Some of these I had to decide I couldn't put it on the face because of the way I did it, so I had to put it on the back side. But they're super cute papers. Found them at Michael's. Okay, so I'm going to switch out, and that will probably help me thin it out a little bit. Okay, so this is my notes section, just little bits of note paper. And this is just how I organize some of my pocket pages. It's one of those deli things. I just grabbed it. I'm sure I can pretty it up a little later. But, so my notes, just papers that I printed, and then I put washi on the ends and corner punched them. Just cute. Let's see. I'm going to move this out of the way so we can see, make sure I'm in the frame. Okay, this is just in case somebody gives me their business card or something real quick, I can just slide it in the pocket, a quote or something, as I'm taking notes. Okay, and then my second page. This is my wish list. So I have my ultimate wish list. I have my racing day, what I need to pack when I have a race that day, some cash, what I need to eat for breakfast, just silly little things that worked one time, so I'll probably do it every time because you don't want to experiment on racing day. My wish list for my tax returns. And then I'm going to use different paper. Now this is from a Sanrio notebook. They're little tiny spiral notebooks, and I just took my ruler and my rotary cutter. I quilt, so I keep the old discs and I mark them as paper cutting because they're not sharp enough for fabric, but they are perfectly fine for cutting paper. And I'll just line everything up and just hack away. And if I hold it still enough, I can go back and forth and go through the entire layer of notebooks at one time. For example, I did this in one slice. That's a pretty thick cut, and there's very little fraying. Very little. So minimal that I'm not going to worry about it. It's like a page. I can throw that away if I'm hateful. Okay, so I'm going to switch out some of my list pages, and I have all these Target notepads that I got, the ones with the magnets on it. So you can see evidence of the little magnet that I got. And I just chopped away, corner punched, and used my crocodile. So I only need a few, just little list notes. About 4, probably. I know, I'm not really counting. Okay, so that's my list section. Put my weapon away. Okay, and then my next tab is my shopping list, things that I'm actually going to get, not just write down and keep and wait for that special moment. So I have my fabric store, craft store list, my grocery list, and again, I'm not going to use these ones, so I'll just put them back in their little file slot. I have, after I cut some of these Target notebooks, I printed on them, so I have my grocery list, and I love grids, and I just use the background texture. There's a gridded background texture that you can use when you're doing a table. So this is just a simple table on Microsoft Word with the title and everything labeled, and then the background fill. So easy peasy. So my grocery list, and then I did a tiny little menu planner. so I can write out. And I wasn't being particular. I was just rushing through. So some of these I probably should have done the margins differently, but this is just for me to use. I don't need to throw away the paper when I know that says Monday. So that'll help me organize. So if I'm looking at my grocery list, I'm all, what do I need this for? What is this recipe? And then I can look at my meal planning list while I'm shopping. Okay, this is for coupons for when I was doing crocheting and I ran out of yarn, so I had to go back and I needed to keep the color and the style and all that. So that's easy peasy. All right, and then the next section is track income and expenses. Okay, good. And I just write down the money, incoming and outgoing, and this is just right for it. And I do 2 per, I'm not going to show you in detail, I just do 2 lines per section because I can write pretty small. And then the next session is my monthlies and my weeklies. There we go. Here is my monthly pages. I used Filofax has the calendars for the pocket size on their website. And so what I did, I just grabbed a hold of theirs and then moved all of them over on top of these photos through Microsoft Publisher. Took a little bit of time, but I'm really liking how it worked out. And again, I used the background fill with the grids. I did have to use my Paint Shop Pro because Publisher doesn't, I don't know what the deal is, but I couldn't make this transparent, so I had to use my Paint Shop Pro, make it transparent, save it as a PNG file, and then put it back onto Publisher so that it's slightly faded. Okay, one moment. Okay, I helped him put his Spider-Man mask on. So here's the calendar, and then I had my weeklies. Let's see, there we go. Sorry. Oh, you know what's going on is I have my little page marker in there. So it was blocking a hole. Alright, that's not part of it yet. So I had my weeklies. I just keep track of my budget, the things that I spend my money on, whether at the craft store. I do a lot of Target shopping because we have the ultimate Target next to our house with the full-on groceries and produce and quite a few organics and all-natural kind of foods. So I don't go anywhere else because Target's the place to be, and they have the limo carts that I can fit all my children on. So, and the wide aisles, it's just a nice, pleasant shopping experience. So I have a lot of Target spending on here. But I think I'm going to do something different. So I got some Tomei River paper from Jet Pens. I got the A4 size, and I printed my weeklies. I did a little sketchy thing. Just playing around. Okay, I printed my weeklies on this cat paper. I just looked up the cat postcards and came across the toy, and I find them so amusing. I don't have a cat, but I do like cat antics. So I just printed them on here. But it's super thin, as you can see. This is an entire year. I just do a week per page because I don't have much going on. And this is the diary for the Filofax versus my diary. There we go. Okay, it's super thin paper, and I'll show you. Let's see. So when I first went through to print them, I did not do the transparency correctly, and it threw it off a little bit. This is a shape, whereas the other one was a picture, and that's why it didn't transfer properly, the calendar. so I was able to adjust the transparency. This is fine printing. Let's see, where's that horse guy? This is fine, and this is high quality, and it really made no difference. The colors are a little bit richer, but in all honesty, it's not that big of a deal. But I had to go back after I printed my first version. I'm like, ooh, there's too transparent, so I had to go back and change the transparency on them. But I just used Publisher and used insert picture object, like a placeholder for pictures on my master. And I just made 4 pages of it. Easy peasy. And you can hear how thin this Tony River paper is. Alright, so my final divider, switch it out. Goodbye, butterflies. This has been the background on my last 3 phones. I love this so much. So I'm going to miss using these. I finally cut into the paper. But this is fun too. Bicycle. Okay, my credit cards, you can see how thick they are, just themselves. So I will put those in the pockets over there. You don't need to see that. My medical cards, there's 6 of them. And dental cards, there's 6 of them, so it's pretty thick. The stickers, I'm sure I don't use them very often, but that moment when I need them, I'm going to be sad I don't have my stickers. I keep my marriage certificate, just a tiny copy because my ID is still in my maiden name, but my credit card is in my married name because I have accounts that are in my maiden name that are joint, and I need to keep an ID with that. So I haven't had any trouble with it. Gotten into races, used my credit card and other things with that little transfer thing. Alright, so we'll close this up. Precious little cats and desserts. Okay, and as you can see, not bad. Here it is compared to the Filofax diary, and I did not take anything out of it. I just traded for a few things, and then my credit cards are going to be in there still. They just have this cool little pocket system, and I am pretty happy. Now the pen that I use is a Staedtler pen, and it's a fine liner, but it will not fit in the zip. So I got a Friction Slim, the .38, so I can write even smaller in my little pocketbook. That is that. And these little guys are stickers. So when I'm laminating and I have that extra blank space, I'll take a sticker. And I was experimenting with the stamp. Probably not the best idea, but I'm not going to throw them away because they're still useful. And I made little page markers so that today. These are stickers that were printed. So this little girl and then the matching little girl, so they were like mirrored. And then you fold it down and they're double-sided. I punched it. I just cut the little slits in it, so now I could just pop it in there and get my current day. And same thing, badly stamped. Pop it in there and get my current day. So I'm going to have fun using this little guy.